Good morning, Stanton. We are going to learn how to leave and find your ship, as well as how to land at New Babbage. Now, I consider New Babbage on Microtech to be the second easiest place to land at. I'd say Lorville slightly easier, but New Babbage, even in the dark, you can usually find the spaceport pretty easily. As far as leaving, though, New Babbage can be a little bit more complex because of the trains. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. So when you're in New Babbage, when you start, you're going to start out in a hab, and in this hab, you just want to again hold F and click on the door to open the door after tapping Y to get out of bed. Now I'm not going to go really into too deeply the controls of this game because I do have other tutorials you can look at. But once you're out of your hab, you can see out the window there is the spaceport. It is across the lake, and we can see the trams that you're going to be taking to get there. In fact, I can see one moving down the track right now, a little light moving down the track. So out of your hab, you're going to find the elevator of the nest, which is the building you're in, and you're going to click on call elevator, again using F and then a mouse click in order to interact with the elevator buttons. Once in the elevator, hold F and you can scroll down to choose floors, but the lobby on the bottom is always available. So you're just going to click lobby and go down to the lobby. Now, I noticed that my helmet light was on there for a second. I'm not sure why. If you ever have that bright light, tap T and that will turn it off. So we're in the lobby now, in the main area. Now here's where I made a little bit of a mistake because I have not been to New Babbage in a while, and normally right here was the stairs to go down to the subway, but it's now a new hospital entrance with some sort of horrible gurney accident. So the stairs to the subway are on either side, left and right, you're going down. So that was just something new that kind of caught me off guard. But go down these stairs and you're going to get down to the subway platform. You can see here on the Metro Loop we have the spaceport and we have the commons. We want to go to the spaceport if you want to get to your ship. If you want to do shopping, head towards the commons. So this one's arriving in about 15 seconds. Sometimes it'll be a bit longer, but it'll always tell you how long until the next train arrives. So once the train arrives, we're just going to get on and it'll start moving us towards the spaceport.
Stand clear of disembarking passengers.
So no one on the train, we got the whole train to ourselves. We're just waiting until the train starts moving. It's departing in about 6 seconds there, and it's going to bring us across the lake. Now, it is nighttime, so we don't have quite the same view as you would have in the day once the train starts moving, but you'll be able to see some of the sky and the stars. I can't recall if I cut this short or not. I don't think I did, but it's not a very long trip. You can see the spaceport, those red lights in the distance, that's where we're heading. So it's not very far at all, and we'll get there, but we are just shooting across the open expanse of the lake. So looking back, the tram is kind of blocking the view, but that was the nest over there that we were originally sleeping in, where we woke up. But once we get to the spaceport, we're actually going to be down below underneath. So in order to get to the spaceport, we're going to have to take an elevator up to the surface. So we are there. Outside of the doors, just look and you'll see an exit sign. There's one right there. We're going to head towards the exit, and we're going to head up the stairs. Or no stairs here. We're going to head into the elevator here. So click an elevator button, and once the elevators arrive, we're going to get in and choose Spaceport. We're at the New Babbage International Spaceport Terminal, and we're going to go up, and we're going to be getting our ship shortly. So outside this elevator, this is where there's a flight of stairs. You have two choices. You're going to either go left or right, and there's really no difference between the two, going left or right. So once we go up the last big flight of stairs here, I believe I go left, but it's not going to make a difference left or right because we're just coming around into the main terminal location. So straight ahead is a little bit of shopping, and then right here you can see where it says surface entrance. That has some terminals to get out vehicles if you have a land vehicle, but we're going to go to hangars and we're going to find ASOP terminals. ASOP terminals are these orange and black screens here. F and click, and then you can choose your ship. So retrieve, we're going to retrieve ourselves a Nomad, and we're just going to wait until it's delivered to a location, and it will tell us where it is. So it is at Hangar 4. So we're going to go to an elevator. Now if you look, our ship is showing us it's 220 meters away and it's at hangar 4. So if you ever forget, you can see where your ship is and how far it is. So in here, holding F, we can scroll till hangar 4. We've actually gone a little far. There it is. Choose hangar 4, and we're just going to wait as the elevator whips us over to our ship location. So as opposed to the ones where there's a hangar with the doors above, this one, the hangar doors are directly ahead. We get into our Nomad, the ladder comes down, we'll climb in, and once we're in, we got to get to the pilot seat. And if our ship is not powered on, you hit you hit R to power your ship on. And then if you have your ship powered on but the engines aren't on, you just have to tap I to turn them on. So I'm going to look here, and I have no power and the engines are off. Now if anytime your camera drifts like this, hit F4 for external view, hit F4 again, and it'll center it back up. So I've hit I to turn my engines on, not thinking that my ship is not yet powered on. So you can see they're off right now, hit I, they're back on. However, I don't know why I wasn't paying attention. Maybe it's because everything else lit up, that the ship itself, because none of the MFD screens are on. So I'm requesting a takeoff by hitting F11, going to Friends, going to International Space Station, and then I realized my ship's not on. So hit R, ship is on, ready to fly. And we could have actually hit that comms that I'm pointing at on the bottom left there, and that will request our takeoff as well. So there, our doors are opening. Space bar to lift off a little bit. Once we lift off, you can always hit N to bring up your landing gear, and then you're hitting W, S, A, D for controls, left, right, forwards, and back. So you can see I've hit N and my landing gear is up now. I'm just kind of taking a look at the ship, but you don't really need an exterior view in order to get out of these openings. The ships are very small compared to the openings, so it's usually a pretty easy fit. Large ships, you want to make sure everything is fully open, but just take it slow and head out. Once we head out, you can see there's a city straight ahead, and we are leaving the spaceport behind us and heading soon into space. So almost directly ahead there is the nest. That's where we started when we first woke up. So we're heading up into space, and you can see we're at about 2,300, 2,500. Our altitude is going up and up and up. I believe on this planet we need to get it to about 11,000 feet before we can use our jump drives to jump to a new location. So a small ship like this, you can point basically straight up and fly. Larger ships, you can't quite do that. But this is one of the planets that takes a little bit longer to get out of, but really not too bad. 11,000 should be pretty quick. So once we get back in, I'll take a look at where we are now, but I'd say we're about halfway. So we're about 9,000, so actually more than halfway. So if we look, 10,000, 11,000, and now some of those triangles have turned orange. So I had tapped B to turn on my jump drive, and now I could point at any of those targets that I wanted to fly to and hold B, and I'd be able to jump to them. You can also use your star map in order to set a location, but I'm just going to jump potentially to, say, orbital marker 1 there, and I'm good to go. So hitting F2, you can choose a location in your star map. So if I want to go to Port Tressler, I can choose that, set route, and then that will be the only mark showing up on my screen. So if we look now, there's an arrow at the top. So I'm going to aim towards it, bring the whole ship there, and once we've calibrated, we're at 50%, 70%. Once we're totally there, hold down B, and we've jumped to Port Tressler. So quite quickly, we've jumped that whole entire distance. So now we are coming in for a landing at New Babbage. So when you're coming towards Microtech and you want to come land at New Babbage, first things first is we're going to come out of our jump over the planet. So we could set a location using F2 and using our star map, but As long as your jump drive is cooled down, so it brings up all the targets, I just look for the one that looks like home plate, and that is the major landing city at any place. So, and Microtech, it will be New Babbage. But you can see we're still having a bit of a cooldown period for this jump drive because it was a fairly large jump. So while we're waiting, I'm zooming in on Microtech, and I'm setting potentially a route to New Babbage. I don't know if I actually set it or I'm just showing you that it's possible to do that. Doesn't look like I did. What I did is I actually just found New Babbage right there. Looks like home plate. Once I've calibrated, hold down B, and we're going to fly right there. Now it is fairly far away, so it's going to be on the far side of the planet. It's not going to be bright, but even in the dark, New Babbage is still relatively easy to find a place to land at. So here's a beautiful shot coming over the planet, coming around. A lot faster than just flying, using the engines to use the jump drive. And it'll bring you, I think, about 20 kilometers away. I can't recall how far it gets. But coming in, looks to be about 25. So here we are. We're actually upside down because we were kind of going over the city, or over the planet upside down. So I'm going to rotate, and you can see the spaceport on the far side there. So it's a little hard to see because it's dark, but you can see the massive part of the city, and then lights further off. And that is the spaceport. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. You can see the tram lines, you can see the frozen lake, and there's the spaceport on the other side of the city. So very easy to see. This is what it looks like in the daytime. It's got a few towers, it's got hangars on the top, and it's got ports on the other side. So as we get closer, you can see it's standing out a lot more, and red lights will appear on it, making it much more noticeable. So now you can see the red lights are starting to come in as we get a bit closer in our draw distance. So here we are, a lot closer now. I've hit N to lower my gear. You can see my gear is down now, and I'm just kind of coming in, waiting until a little sign shows me right there. Please contact ATC to land, or ATC to land. Hit F11, hit friends, and request a landing. Of course, anytime you can use one of the screens on your ship, you can have it set to comms and use that to request a landing, but F11 and friends always works. So there is our target. We're going to come in. Once we're closer, this is a hangar that we got to land in from above. So what we're going to do is we're just going to use the mouse wheel to control our maximum speed, make sure we're not going too fast, and we're going to use control to drop us straight down, watching our angles. We're coming right in for a beautiful landing. Always important to make sure your landing gear down, and we've touched down. So once we're in here, I hit I. You can see my engines, my hydrogen and quantum levels are disappeared, so I've turned it off. Hold Y to get out of our seats, and we're going to exit our ship. We're going to head right over to there to the AeroView elevators. So here are the elevators. They're going to bring us up to the spaceport itself. Once in the spaceport, we can go to the kiosks, the ASOP terminals here, and it's always good just to store your ship. So I've stored our ship and it's put away, and now we are in the terminal. We got these little glowing balls, which are kind of a symbol of Microtech. Those are where you'd go to get your vehicles. If you wanted a vehicle, you would get them there. There's some elevators over there. You can do a little bit of shopping just to the right here, coming down the stairs. But what we're going to do is we're going to go down to the Metro Loop. So we're going to come around this corner and down here and into the Metro Loop. And in the Metro Loop, you can take either one to the I forget what it's called now. Let's see if it says here. There's either the shopping district or like the living quarters area. So there's like the two areas that you get onto the Metro Loop. So that is basically it. You are now in New Babbage. You've landed your ship, and you can kind of explore. If you log out anywhere in here, when you log back in, you'll be in a hab in New Babbage, and the beginning of this video will show you how to find your ship and get out and get home.